Welcome, dear listeners. I'm Jonathan Carlin.
And I'm Benjamin Carlin.
And we invite you to join us through the Griffin door, your one-way ticket to the enchanting world of Harry Potter. So grab your wands and dust off your broomsticks and join us as we unlock the riddles inside Goblet of Fire, Chapter 17, The Four Champions, live in Jacksonville. Woo! Oh, man.
Not Tampa. Not Tampa.
Live in not Tampa, right? Exactly.
Which, by the way, Ethan almost stole my joke from me because at the top of each page that we do live somewhere, I will write live in, and I wrote Jacksonville.
Oh, nailed it.
And then I was like, it looks like a W. It's supposed to be a V.
Wow.
So I don't know if you guys are familiar with our Patreon, but we do send the pages out into people once we're finished with the book. So hopefully somebody from this room will get Jackson Willie.
Yeah. Jackson Willie.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
But speaking of this page in particular, we got to, as always, talk about the chapter art.
We got to talk about the chapter art, which we can actually show you. This time, just Harry standing ominously. Wow, can everyone
Rather
see it?
ominous.
Everyone see it?
Much metaphor.
Much metaphor.
I feel like what they're going for here is he's looking forward into a shadow of himself that is larger than who he is in the present.
Dark times loom ahead.
Yeah.
To me, he looks very just alone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Stood apart from.
Yeah, I literally wrote mood.
Yeah. A lot of communication coming from this particular artwork for sure.
Yes, indeed. The other kind of interesting thing about this chapter is that it is titled The Four Champions. The Four Champions. And we all know that inside of this story there will end up being four champions. But one of the things that I feel like is going to come up over and over again inside of this chapter is nobody seems preoccupied by the fact that there are four. Like they are, but they're all like, now this is unfair. And it's like, I don't know, it's the goblet that messed up.
Right, yeah.
Like everybody's like upset with Harry or Dumbledore or Hogwarts, and it's like, the goblet.
The goblet messed up. Yeah.
He did this.
What happened? And then Harry's like, I didn't even put my name in. And like, no one believes him.
No one.
But I feel like Harry does a very bad job stating his case because they will continuously just be like, no one will grasp that like anyone might not want to be in the tournament.
Also
like,
true.
It is like unfathomable to anyone in the world. And at no point will Harry be like, hey, I don't even want to compete. You know? He just keeps saying, I didn't do it, not that I don't want to do it.
Right. Although probably that's because everything is going to be explained to us is sort of like, he's pretty much got to do it.
He does. He does have to do it, but I feel like it would help his case if he was like, but I don't want to.
Right.
Yeah.
That being said, though, as we kick off, basically, because you guys are now hearing a chapter, but you guys haven't heard us do chapters 14, 15, 16, right?
Right.
Yeah.
What?
Because...
Oh, you did, because you've been to every show. Bravo.
So you got that going for you.
Yeah.
However, the brief recap is that the Goblet of Fire was lit. Names came out of it. You know, we had Victor Crumb.
Yeah.
Fleur Delacour.
Right.
Cedric Diggory.
Heard of him.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is a good chapter.
It is.
Yeah. You guys all know.
It happens.
It
in
happens.
This chapter.
We'll get to it.
We'll get there.
Anyway,
so that's the cliffhanger we were left with going into tonight's chapter, and it's going to start off with Harry sat there aware that every head in the Great Hall had turned to look at him. He was stunned. He felt numb. He was surely dreaming. He had not heard correctly.
Yeah, this would be, I can't imagine what's going through his head. He's just like, what?
What?
No, because I'm having a normal year. No. No one has been trying to kill me yet.
Right. But now they are. Yes.
Yeah.
The thing that blows my mind the most, so there's no applause. Just a buzzing as though angry bees were starting to fill the hall. Some of the students were standing up to get a better look. Harry, as he sat frozen in his seat, you start to see McGonagall and Dumbledore just sort of being like, what?
What's going on?
But the thing I can't believe is that, like, Harry turns to Ron and Hermione, and he just looks them, what I can only imagine, is square in the eyes and says, I didn't put my name in, Harry said blankly. You know I didn't. And both of them just stared back just as blankly. And I'm like, I am shocked that this is not more convincing.
I know.
I'm convinced.
I know. Like why would he lie to them?
Exactly. Right. Like if Ron is sitting there, thinking that Harry knew he did this and watching this unfold, and he's going to be mad at him for a long time about it, like 25 days.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he clearly didn't know.
Clearly didn't know. Absolutely not. What I think Barty Crouch Jr. gets really lucky about the order in which the names come out too.
Yes.
Right? Like, can you imagine if Harry had come, like if just Harry came out before Cedric?
Oh.
You know? And then everyone's like, what the heck? Cedric? How did you do that? Then everyone would be,
That's exactly what I'm saying, though. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. Is that then, would people even be like, Cedric, how did you do that?
Right.
Or would they still be mad at Harry?
Like, if Harry came out first, people would be like, that's peculiar, but bravo, Harry, you did it.
Right.
Yeah. Like, you broke the rules and you got away with it. Like, it'd be, like, impressive. This is just like, but there's already a Hogwarts champion.
Right.
Yeah.
The true Hogwarts champion.
The real Hogwarts champion.
Yeah.
The spare.
Last night, we made that joke a bunch of times, and there was a guy who was rather muscular, sitting in the front row in a Hufflepuff jersey, and while the Ravenclaws had cracked their knuckles earlier in the night, this guy, he was busting out his footrest pitchfork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So
we love Cedric.
Are there any Hufflepuffs in the front row?
Woo!
Dang. Okay.
All right, 2, 3.
All right. I think we can take them.
Okay, cool. Oh, man. So, anyway, Harry gets up. Dumbledore calls for him to head up there again. Harry, up here, please. And it feels like an immensely long walk, which I feel like everyone at some point in their life has that moment where it's like you just have to walk a short distance, but it's like you're never getting there.
Yes.
You're embarrassed the entire way. You're not going to make it.
When I was a child, I was sort of infamously in a speech contest where they announced the winners on stage.
Right.
And they called first place and they said my name, and I was like, this is so fun. I'm very exciting. I went back to the table, looked at Mom, and was like, Dad's gonna be so proud of me. And then the guy on stage was like, Ben, we made a mistake. We read the results backwards. And I had to walk back.
Give back the
on
trophy.
Stage. And hand it back. Yeah. So that was the moment for me.
That was it, yeah.
And you know who won?
No.
Ashley.
Her
speech was about dolphins, no less.
Flippin' little dolphins.
Does anybody know how I don't like dolphins? Now you know why.
Now you know why. Mm-hmm. Not the best. They're not the best. So I feel like Dumbledore handles this like kind of weirdly. He's just sort of like, well, through the door. I mean, what are you doing? Clearly, you're in. He does it. He's like, I don't know. It says he wasn't smiling. And I'm a little surprised because it's like, is this, I think he's not smiling, not because he's like angry or disappointed. I feel like he's just sort of like, oh no, I was expecting this. Something like this. And he's like, oh no. This is a bad one.
Yes. And we kind of know for a fact that that's going on because just a few chapters ago, we would have had a letter from Sirius that basically says that if he's brought Alistair Moody, or if he's brought Mad Eye out of retirement, it means he's reading the signs,
right,
even if no one else is.
Yeah.
And so basically what I think that means is that obviously the selection of Moody to be the Defense Against the Dark Arts professor means that Dumbledore realizes that like things are happening. Like maybe he's paid attention to Bertha Jorkins going missing in Albania.
Oh,
like,
he's certainly noticed that.
That like flagged for him like something is the foot. And so for Dumbledore in this particular moment, it 100% is registering like crap.
Oh, because Dumbledore knows for sure that it's Voldemort.
Yes.
He just has no idea how he's doing it.
How he did it. Yep.
Yeah. as we get down the page here. Oh, so Harry heads into like some chamber beyond the Great Hall. He goes past a picture of a man, a wizard with a walrus mustache. That's all the explanation we get. But I was like, do you think that's Slughorn? Like a portrait of him?
Well, I'll be.
Right? Because at this point, he's just like a retired, famous professor who gave a lot of his life to the school. Right?
That's a good point.
Right? It could totally just be him.
It could just be, yeah. No, I don't hate that.
All right. Cool.
Slughorn.
There we go.
Way to go, Slughorn. Good for you, man.
Well done. Way to have a portrait in the school. Yep.
When Harry does walk back there, though, we see that there is a handsome fire in the fireplace, and that Victor Crumb, Cedric Diggory, and Fleur Delacour were grouped around the fire. They look strangely impressive, silhouetted against the flames. I do feel like there's going to be a little bit of a setup here as well. There's lots of red herring bait.
Oh, there is so much. Yeah,
going
there's
on.
Shade thrown at everyone in this chapter.
Yes, it's like, should you worry about them or them or them or them or them? Not him.
Not him.
That should be the thing that clues you
Yeah.
in. But it says, Crumb is hunched up and brooding, leaning against the mantelpiece slightly apart from the other two, which is kind of like, we've already not gotten like the best feels from Karkaroff. The Durmstrang students came in, they sat with the Slytherins. Like there's certainly reason to believe that like maybe like Durmstrang studies the dark arts.
Right.
You know, maybe something could be wrong with that. Cedric is kind of standing stoically with his hands behind his back. Classic Cedric, staring into the fire.
I feel like the gravity of the situation is settling upon Cedric now, that he's just sort of like, yes, I wanted to be champion. And now he's like, oh man, I am champion. Oh boy.
I'm going to have to figure this out.
Things are going to be hard.
Yes.
Yep.
But then we also have Fleur Delacour, who just a couple of chapters ago as well, we learned is like, kind of mocking Hogwarts a little bit. Like they seem like a little bit above it. And sure enough, we get like a little bit of that vibe from her in this particular moment. She's like, what is it? Do they want us back in the hall?
Do they want us back in the hall?
Yes.
Yeah. I know she sees Harry just like completely is condescending to him immediately. And Harry's just like, it struck him how very tall all of them were. To which like I do remember that feeling, like when you're like a ninth grader, all the seniors seem like giants.
Yes.
Even though like they're not really that much bigger than you anymore.
No, you're 100% correct. There are like I remember from my ninth grade days, seniors who still seemed more like grown men than I feel now.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right, I'm like, when am I going to be a senior in high school yet? You know?
Right, yes.
Right? Come on.
Just like those guys.
They seem like they had it all together. Guess not. But the next person in the room is Ludo Bagman, who is going to kick off all of the suspicions big time. Because he is just in love with everything that's just happened, which I don't really know why, but he just comes in, he's like, extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. Gentlemen, lady, may I introduce the fourth Triwizard Champion? And it's just like, I don't know why he's so excited. I guess, like, we know that he's in debt at the moment, but, like, he wasn't anticipating this to happen, but has he already figured out, like, I can help Harry cheat? This is my way out.
That is, like, where you have to wonder, like, how quickly the pieces went through his minds, and he's like, the Vegas odds on this kid are going to be low.
Are going to be low.
I want him.
I'm going to do it, and I'm going to help him cheat, and that's how I'm going to get out. It's going to be great. Hooray.
But that's the thing, is that Ludo is going to be amongst many, but he will be one of the big red herrings. And his enthusiasm towards Harry it's very contrary to what we're going to see from characters like Crumb or Karkaroff, even just, classic Snape, anybody else who's kind of hanging out in there.
He also he's the one with like the least hitches about this either. He's just like, yep, okay, this is how it is now.
Yes.
Like, you could definitely read this as just like, yes, he set it up and it worked. Oh my God, amazing. That's great. We have to do it. That's what the rules say. Harry's in no matter what. Okay, cool. We're good. This is great.
Yes. Even as we go down the page, Flora's going to chime in and say, oh, very funny, Mr. Bagman. I'm not very good at a French accent. Yeah. Basically just suggesting that it's a joke. And Bagman is like, a joke? And it says a joke, Bagman repeated, bewildered. And I'm like, surely
you understand.
You understand why they're surprised that there are 4 people in the Triwizard tournament.
Yeah, they don't even rename the tournament,
Right, yes.
They just stick with it. Yeah. The Quad Wizard tournament.
Quad, yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
The Quizzard tournament.
The Quizzard!
Quizzard!
It sounds like an organ inside of like a bird.
It does, yeah. Well, you got to remove the quizzard, yeah.
The quizzard.
Right, yeah. That's the magical bits.
Yeah.
Right. But no, he explains that Harry's name just came out of the Goblet of Fire. And he's just smiling. He says, like, it's amazing. And he's like rubbing his smooth chin. He's definitely like sizing up. He's like, I am so good. I have got it out. We got it. He is smiling down. And it feels like he is like trying to rush through this part. Like maybe everyone's not about to bust through the door. Like, what just happened?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot that's going to make you wonder whether or not this situation couldn't have been fixed.
Right.
Like, there's a lot that's going to suggest that it can't be fixed, but also there's some fishy bits involved.
Yeah.
That it's sort of like that we skate past real fast, and then it's like once it's behind us, we're kind of like, okay, whatever, that's not a problem. But we'll get to that here in just 1 second.
Yes.
Because Bagman's basically going to be like, as you know, the age restriction was only imposed this year as an extra safety measure. It does say it's down in the rules, you're obliged. And this, again, is sort of something we've talked about in the past. We've even made a video about it. But it's like why does Harry have to compete in the Triwizard Tournament? Like, why can't they just, like, park him?
Yeah.
And it does seem like they keep coming back to this, like, binding magical contract, rather, which seems very similar, like, in tone to an unbreakable vow.
It does kind of seem like it's an that's the only other thing we can compare it to is the unbreakable vow. And like in that scenario, if you break the vow, you die.
Right.
So it does it's never said outright, but it feels like it's insinuating like if he doesn't compete, then he'll die. To which I'm like, maybe you guys need a different artifact to start the tournament, you know?
It's just like, it already doesn't seem safe.
It doesn't seem like you've done much better. Yeah.
It's like, we haven't done it in years. How come? Kids kept dying.
Kids kept dying. Cool.
What happens if they don't compete? Well, they die.
They die, yeah. So yeah, no backing out now. You just got to get in there, fight the dragon, okay? Because either it's going to burn you up or the goblet is. So
yeah, exactly.
So he seems like he's trying to rush through it. Says, I don't think there's going to be any ducking out at this stage. So I feel like he's just like, he's like trying to secure Harry's participation. Like, yep, he's in. That's the first thing you're going to believe from me. But then everyone else comes in. Mr. Crouch, Karkaroff, Madam Maxine, Professor McGonagall, Snape for some reason. Like, what are you doing here?
Snape for some reason.
For some reason.
It's like, Snape, what are you doing here?
Not even Sprout. You'd think Sprout, like Cedric's in.
Yes!
Right? Where's Professor Sprout?
It's an abomination.
It is an abomination.
A scandal.
A scandal? Lily and James Potter?
In a car crash? Anyway, then Flora's like, Madam Maxine, they are saying this little boy is to compete also. That was okay?
Wow.
Did you get it on camera?
Wow.
Heck yeah. We have proof. And then Harry is like, little boy.
Yeah. I like that Harry hasn't lost like all of his pride. He's still like enough to be like, now, hey, come on now.
He's like,
all right, like you know who I am though, right? Like
I am the chosen one.
I'm not just some little boy. Like I did defeat Voldemort. No.
I killed a basilisk.
Like yeah, I killed a basilisk. I killed my teacher. Okay. Okay. What did you do? He tried to kill me.
Self-defense.
And then they're all freaking out about it. Karkaroff says, 2 Hogwarts champions. I do not remember. I was trying to do French on him. That's not how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah. Do your best, fruity unctuous.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
I don't remember anyone telling me the whole school is allowed 2 champions, or have I not read the rules carefully enough? To which I was like, have you read the rules? Thank you. Have you read the rules at all? Like,
dude, has anyone in this room read the rules at all?
It doesn't feel like it. All I can think is that maybe Karkaroff has read the rules so that he's like looking for loopholes he can exploit, which would still make sense to me. But otherwise, I'm like, it doesn't feel like you have. Because they do have to keep checking over and over with everyone else. And we're like, that sounds right. We did that out.
Yes.
Like, even at one point, like, Ludo's telling everyone, and he's like, Dumbledore, that's enough. That's everything, right? And it's like, why are you asking Dumbledore?
Right, yes.
Like, he doesn't even know what the first task is.
His school, as far as everyone else knows, is cheating.
I know. Well, Dumbledore is going to be acting real weird in this chapter, too.
Yes.
Not for nothing.
Actually, Madam Maxine makes a really great point, though. She's just like, it is most unjust. And it's just like, yeah.
Correct.
You are absolutely correct, ma'am.
Yeah.
It is most unjust.
It is, no doubt.
You are, let me validate you.
Yeah. They say, we were under the impression your age line would keep out the younger contestants. To which, I think this is an interesting point by Carl. He says, yeah, we're under the impression that your age line would keep out younger contestants, Dumbledore. To which, like, are you concerned Harry's going to win? Like, are you threatened by Harry?
Yes.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Well,
like,
I think maybe so. And then he even follows it up with, otherwise we would have, of course, brought along a wider selection of candidates from our own schools.
Yeah.
And I was like, did you not already bring your second best option?
I know. Like, do you think you have more qualified younger students than what you brought?
It is entirely possible because, as we learned in the last chapter, Polyakov,
Yeah.
he's got food all down his front.
He's not, I don't even know why he brought Polyakov. It's just like a punching bag, basically.
He truly is. He truly is. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see here. And then Snape cuts in and he's like, it's no one's fault but Potter's, Karkaroff.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like,
like, Snape, what are you doing here?
whose side are you on?
I know, right? He's just like there. He's just like, oh, Potter broke a rule. I need to be there. Let me in. Sprout, why don't you send everyone to back to the greenhouses or something?
Yeah.
I'll go deal with this. His black eyes alight with malice. And I'm like, why does he hate Harry for this? You know, like even assuming Harry even broke the rules and successfully tricked the goblet, why are you hating him for it? Like even that, well, I know, but it just. Not that hatred has to make sense, I guess, but it really doesn't.
Yes.
I don't understand his logic here. But Dumbledore's not having any of it. He's just like, thank you, Severus. That'll be enough. And now Dumbledore gets down on Harry's level. He's looking down at Harry, who looked right back at him, trying to discern. So this is kind of funny because Harry is trying to discern the expression on Dumbledore's face, and Dumbledore is like, reading your mind. Oh, man. I was so hoping this was your fault. It is not. Oh, God. Not good. Well, okay.
This is the moment.
I mean, so then, and I don't know how to, like, it says, he says it calmly. I'm afraid I'm going to get it wrong. I feel like maybe we should all say it. I want you guys, maybe we'll all say it together. Okay?
Yeah.
So, we'll count 3, 2, 1, right?
Yeah,
So, all right.
You guys know the line, right?
You guys know the line.
Well,
I don't know. I can't get a good feeling. So, 3, 2, 1. Did you put your name on the Goblet of Fire?
He asked calmly.
So,
And
I think we got it.
I was confused, though, because my copy, it's not in all caps.
Yeah, well.
Is that a mistake?
Mine's not either. It's, to me, like, in my brain, I thought maybe it was like, did you put your name to the Goblet of Fire, Harry?
Yeah.
But I don't think that's it. Because, it says calmly, but.
He's mad.
He's mad. We know canonically that what's really happening is that he is just basically chokeslammed Harry.
Yes.
Threw him the people's elbow. You can't see me. Did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? Calmly.
But yes.
Yeah, that's British calm. Is this a British thing or a magic thing?
I've been looking forward to this for like 60 weeks.
60 weeks. So glad we're here with you guys to do it. Oh, man. Oh, what a fun one. What?
Not in Tampa.
Not in Tampa.
In
Not in
Jacksonville.
Tampa. Oh, we would never in Tampa. Yeah. Only in Jacksonville. That's
Jacksonville.
right. Yeah. Yeah. That is where Harry put his name in the Goblet of Fire. Calmly. Yeah. Snape's not having any of it. Snape is just, he makes a soft noise of impatient disbelief back there. He's just snorting. Who would snort? If you guys hear Snape in here, just let us know.
Yeah.
But seriously, Snape, just like get over it. Like whatever, man.
Right.
Yeah.
We do then learn what is apparently just the easiest loophole in the world.
Yes.
Did you ask an older student to put it in the Goblet of Fire for you?
I know. I'm like, wow. I feel like he's asking him that because it would have worked.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
No one else thought of that.
Yeah, Fred and George are like, aging potions. And
Right.
it's like, or ask Angelina
Just
to
ask
do it
Angelina.
for
Yeah, why don't you just like, hey, when you go up, can you put like ours in too? Thanks.
you. Right.
Thanks. Yeah.
And it seems like all of the Gryffindors are rooting for Angelina. So as far as I'm concerned, it seems like she's the only person of age who entered. So they also could have just asked any of the other wimpy 7th year,
yeah.
you know?
People to do it.
They're
I think
supposed to
there's
be
that one guy
brave.
from Slytherin. He enters, right?
No. I mean, just from Gryffindor.
Oh, from
house.
Gryffindor, yeah.
Yeah, they're all just like,
That we're aware
Angelina,
of.
we hope it's you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. As far as I know, we only know of like 3 Hogwarts students who actually entered,
Right.
right? Warrington and Cedric and Angelina. Yeah. Anyway, it seemed pretty obvious he was going to be, almost. And yet it chose Cedric anyway. No, I don't feel like that joke landed. I'm going to workshop that one later. Don't worry.
That's okay. Yeah,
it's okay.
for the second pass. But of course he is lying, cried Madame Maxine. Snape was now shaking his head, his lip curling. He could not have crossed that age line, said Professor McGonagall. I am sure we all agreed on that. And McGonagall just does have like complete and utter faith in
I know.
Dumbledore in this situation.
Yes, I love McGonagall defending Dumbledore from himself. It is phenomenal. She says, really? What nonsense! Harry could not have crossed the line himself, and Professor Dumbledore believes he did not persuade any other student to do it for him, so I'm sure that should be good enough for everyone else. End of discussion. Moving on. And then she shoots an angry look at Snape, like, what are you even, like, I don't even know why you're here.
I know.
Like, come on, bro. I hear enough from you in the staff room. Oh, Harry made another really good potion, but it was ugly, and I didn't like it. I gave him a 0.
I gave him a 0.
Yeah.
It's like you realize 0 stands for outstanding, right?
Like, yeah,
Like
yeah.
That's what O is
Right.
in wizard talk.
Right. But then I think this is kind of funny too. Karkaroff speaks up and says, Mr. Crouch, Mr. Bagman, his voice unctuous once more. Gotta keep that fruity unctuousness up.
Yes.
You are our objective judges, which I'm like, I love how openly unbiased he is. He's just not like, yeah, I'm not going to be objective about this judging business at all. Crumb for the win. Yeah.
Karkaroff, you mean?
Karkaroff, yeah.
Karkaroff's like, you definitely can't trust me. I get that.
I got that, right, yeah.
I wouldn't trust me.
Yeah,
You
I wouldn't
totally
trust me.
shouldn't.
Yeah,
But
you're the objective judges.
Mr. Crouch, you're definitely not under the Imperious Curse right now, right? Like,
Right.
you know, you could be objective about this.
Yeah.
However, I do think he is under the Imperious Curse.
Oh, he's 1,000. Yeah. Mr. Crouch definitely is. But then you start to get more suspicious behavior. It says Bagman wiped his round boyish face with his handkerchiefs, which you can just sort of like imagine he's just over like, what? Yeah, it's like I can imagine. I feel like that probably looks very suspicious, or you can put that on camera that way if they even decide to include Bagman in the TV show.
Yeah.
But one would hope. And then Mr. Crouch. This is like another great hint that he's under the Imperious Curse, but it says his face half hidden in shadow. He looks slightly eerie. The half darkness making him look much older, giving him an almost skull-like appearance. I know it's like whoa, okay. And then it says he's also standing outside of the circle, like he's just kind of not paying attention. Like we're all having a nice discussion. He's like over there, like, oh, Crouch, you want to? Oh yeah, I'm in. Yeah.
I wonder if that's like if people under the Imperious Curse, when not being given commands, are just like NPCs.
Right. Yeah, they're just sort of standing there.
They're like this is all happening. It would be really funny in the TV show if they just have like the actor who plays Crouch just like staring at a wall in the background.
Yeah.
Like
all the hints are there.
just doing nothing at all.
I know. But then, okay, so he finally does speak up, though, and he says, we must follow the rules, and the rules state clearly that those people whose names come out of the Goblet of Fire are bound to compete in the tournament. And that's what he's saying, right? And we all believe him, and this is sort of like the word on what we're doing. But, like, we don't even know. What makes it so hard to know is that we know he's under the Imperious Curse. So they could just be making him say this.
Yes, so
right?
that's exactly what I wrote here. It says, like, we must follow the rules. And it's like, I actually wonder if that's true.
I know. Like, we don't know that's true.
Right. And then it immediately follows up with Ludo being like, well, Barty knows the rule book from back to front. And we know Ludo wants him to compete. So
Right.
Ludo is like doubling down on this position. And it's sort of like, well, that settles that. And it's
Right.
like, yeah, but that's what you want.
Right,
Like,
that's what
you're
you
not objective here.
Right, yes. Yeah, despite what Karkaroff says.
Yes.
Yeah, which nobody has. So Bagman just super pleased about the entire thing. Karkaroff has other thoughts on this. He says, "What? I insist on resubmitting the names of the rest of my students." He dropped his unctuous tone. Oh, sorry, can't do that anymore.
Oh.
Yeah. His face now wore a very ugly look indeed, so they're trying to make him start seeming really suspicious. But then we have another problem here, and he says, "But Karkaroff, it doesn't work like that. The Goblet of Fire has just gone out. It won't reignite until the start of the next tournament." That's how I imagine Ludo talks.
Yes. Which,
Sorry.
again, it feels like Moody is about to be like, it would take a very powerful wizard to hoodwink, the goblet into spitting out a fourth name or whatever. And it's like, if they can come to that conclusion and look around at the people in this room, it's like, if only we had a very powerful wizard anywhere in this room.
Can we...
It's like, we got 3 headmasters.
I also don't see why they couldn't just be like, maybe we find another way to pick 2 more students.
Or that.
Right?
Yes.
Right?
Like Madame Maxine, just go pick someone.
You know what? Why don't you just, we realize this is unfair. Just pick whoever you want. We already got the best one. So just whatever.
You mean Harry?
You mean, she picks Harry too? Yeah. No.
Oh,
yeah, no, Floor.
The real issue is that they're standing there being like, we could maybe scrape together a 4th dragon unexpectedly, but 6. That's a lot of extra dragons.
Know if we can do that. Yeah. Also, it says they say the fire won't reignite until the start of the next tournament. To which I'm like, how does it know when the next tournament is? Right?
Because it's been one darn hot second.
Are they having to base this entire thing around when the goblet annually lights every 5 years? Even when they're not doing the tournament, is it just for 24 hours every 5 years, inside the casket?
Dude, as a fan of sporting events, I would be very irritated if that was operating on a 4 and 9 situation. 1994, 1999, 2004, 2009.
Yeah.
Instead of 1990, 1995, 2000.
That'd be so much nicer. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be so irritating?
That would be so irritating.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does suck.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
Have you seen the money or the Quidditch scores? I don't know. Well, they don't teach math, so.
Right. But
they're
then
not paying the math budget. Yeah, I know.
Karkaroff is like, I have half a mind to leave now. And it's basically just like, yeah, that's not going to work. And then out of nowhere, Moody is like, empty threat, Karkaroff. Binding magical contract, like Dumbledore said. Convenient, eh? And it's sort of like, yeah, for you, it's very convenient.
Extremely convenient for you, Barty Crouch Jr.,
which is kind of funny because I feel like Karkaroff is looking at him and he's clearly frustrated, and Moody has just used the word convenient, and I feel like Karkaroff is like, how?
Yes.
How is that convenient for me in this situation?
Right. Inconvenient for me,
yes.
Mostly is what it is.
Right, yes. He's like, I'm afraid I don't understand you, Moody.
Yes.
It's like he's actually kind of being reasonable there.
Yeah, I know. But Moody's got it. He says, don't you? It's very simple, Karkaroff. Someone, him, put Potter's name in the goblet knowing he'd have to compete if it came out. Which, I mean, this is the masterstroke of Barty Crouch's whole plan, is that he explains it outright to everyone in the room and gets away with it.
Yes.
I know.
Right. It's like, why is it not more suspicious? And probably it should be to us, the people who are looking at every word, every frame of this.
It's not because Karkaroff is the one who gives him credit for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
eventually
true.
He'll be like, you seem to have given this a great deal of thought, Moody. And it's like, yes,
he has.
certainly has. He's been thinking about it for months.
Yes.
Or, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks or something.
Maybe 3 weeks.
Yeah. No, now we're in October.
Right.
2 months. Yeah.
But then we get, let's see here. Karkaroff goes on to say, I shall be lodging complaints with the Ministry of Magic and the International Confederation of Wizards. And so then he's probably like, Dumbledore, I've got a problem.
I'd like to file a complaint.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Dumbledore is currently the sitting head of the Wizengamot.
Yes. And then as far as complaining to the Ministry, I was massive. He has to turn around and be like, oh, also Barty, I have a complaint. Who else? Bagman. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Write this down.
I have now informed all of the people, all parties involved.
Right. Yeah. You don't even have to leave this room to complain to all those people. But Moody correctly points out he's the only one who will say that if anyone's got a reason to complain, it's Potter. But funny thing, I don't hear him saying a word. And which is like, that is true. This is Harry's moment to be like, yeah, okay, first of all, not only did I not do it, but I don't want to compete, please.
Yes.
Like that I feel like would start selling people more.
That's a good point. Maybe Harry does need to chime in here and be like, please, can I not do it? And they'll be like, sorry, you have to.
So here's the thing though then, Ben. Do you
What?
think he kind of does want to? Like he doesn't know. He's like, I didn't do it, but like, I mean, I don't hate it.
I'm here now.
I'm here now. Don't know what it means yet. Don't know how it happened, but like, I mean, I guess I'll compete.
I guess I'll do it. I mean, I am Harry Potter, so I stand a decent chance.
I've got real main character energy, so.
Right.
Yeah. But Flora's not having any of it. She's like, why should he complain? Because he didn't put his name in. Duh.
Obviously.
Yes,
have you been listening?
What? Yeah, I know you're not. No one is listening. That's going to be the real theme. No one's listening. Yeah. 1,000 gallons and prize money. This is a chance many will die for. And it says maybe someone's hoping Potter is going to die for it. Yeah, you are hoping for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I do love Moody's or Ludo's response to this because it's like if you take yourselves out of the plot of the book. And just imagine like standing around with your friends and having a conversation and somebody saying something like this. Ludo's like, Moody, old man, what a thing to say. And it's sort of like, that would be like, yeah, I don't know, drawing straws to go do something. Like, what if somebody dies?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, why are you hanging out with us?
I feel like the way it's supposed to read is that like Ludo is suddenly worried that Moody is onto his plan or something. He's like sitting like bouncing up and down like, what? No! Who would want to? Come on! Who would want Harry to die? Don't be ridiculous.
As long as we're on the
Moody.
subject, though, what do you think the Vegas odds are of Potter dying? You know, just asking for a friend.
That said, yeah. What do you think? You want to go big? I'll give
Should
you
I go
great
win or
odds.
death?
Win or death? I'm going like call it 1 to 100, 1 to 1,000. Let's do it. Let's do
there
it.
you go. Yeah.
Taking bets now.
Let's see here. Then Karkaroff is trying to lessen Moody's reputation in the situation. And he says, apparently he is now teaching his students to fear assassination too, an odd quality in a defense against the dark arts teacher. And I was like, is it?
Is it? Yeah. I mean, should you not be fearing assassination?
Right. Yeah. It's like, what are dark arts? Avada Kedavra and defense against.
Right. I know. It's just an odd quality. It's an odd quality in the dark arts teacher, Dumbledore, but no doubt you had your reasons. And I'm like, here, I can list the reasons for you. All 3 of the past defense against the dark arts teachers have endangered Harry's life in some way.
True.
Right? Like,
True.
even the ones who were like his best friend.
Yes. Yes.
Like, even Lupin almost killed him.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, maybe, yes, there are reasons. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Absolutely. And then I love his next line here because Moody is just super ready for it. He says, imagining things am I, seeing things am I. It was a skilled witch or wizard who put that boy's name in the goblet. And I'm like, nice flex, dude. Nice flex.
Yeah. He's like, like real. Let's emphasize this. Super skilled.
Like whoever did it, they're probably really good looking too.
Yes.
I mean, no doubt. Right? I've heard probably that's what he looks like. Yeah. Of course, he's of course exactly right about exactly what happened because he is the one who did it. Then he goes on. Continues to flex. It would have needed an exceptionally strong Confundus charm to bamboozle that goblin into forgetting that only schools can beat. Except, like, probably the strongest charm in the world. Maybe more powerful than anyone in this room can do, even Dumbledore. I mean, you know, I don't want to say I'm more powerful than him, but like, he can't fix this problem, can he? Right?
Yes, and he says, I'm guessing that they submitted Potter's name under a 4th school to make sure that he was the only one in his category. And I'm starting to be like, dude, you're explaining too much of the plan.
Too much, yeah.
He starts monologuing.
I know. In comes Karkaroff, though, to try and like tear down his reputation, his credibility a little bit more. Says, you seem to have given this a great deal of thought, Moody. And it's like, because now it is like Karkaroff like trying to drag him down, you're like, It gives Moody more credibility because someone you already don't like is trying to tear it down.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're like, okay, yeah, no, Moody's totally right. And then he gives him a really weird story he heard about having recently gotten a birthday present, thinking it was disguised as a basilisk egg, and smashed it to pieces before realizing it was a carriage clock. And I'm like, who sent the actual Moody a carriage clock? you know?
Yes.
Right?
And also, how is this rumor getting passed around?
I know.
You know, like, are wizards just down at the Leaky Cauldron and be like, you are not going to believe what Mad Eye got for his birthday.
I know.
A carriage clock.
Right? Also, like, at the same rate, no one seems at all alarmed that it is specifically Harry Potter who's in this predicament.
Yes.
They're like, I know enough to know that Mad Eye Moody smashed a carriage clock thinking it was a basilisk egg. Not at all suspicious that Harry Potter, the boy who defeated Voldemort, stabbed a basilisk, and all that other stuff, is the one in the goblet.
Yes.
Not weird at all.
Right.
Very bad circumstances around it. Yeah.
Right.
That's normal. Let's see. And then he goes, I like this next line too. He says, there are those who will turn innocent occasions to their advantage. It's my job to think the way dark wizards do, Karkaroff, as you ought to remember. So he turns it into a threat, which is like a good way to get you, the reader, off the scent here as well. But like he says, there are those who will turn things to their innocent occasions to their advantage. That is exactly what he personally is doing. He says, it's my job to think the way dark wizards do. That is because he is a dark wizard. So
yes. But then also going on from there, Dumbledore is sort of like, okay, maybe too much. And he says, Alastor, said Dumbledore warningly. Harry wondered for a moment who he was speaking to, but then realized that Mad Eye could hardly be Moody's real first name. And it's like, that's a good point. However, the name Alastor has many meanings, but one of the top ones is to look.
Yep.
And
that fits.
It's sort of like, Mad Eye is, the organ that sees things. And then it means that Alastor means to look. So it's like, this guy was always destined for like eye-related
things.
Namology.
Right?
Yes.
He should have known when he was more. Just like, it's like Remus should have known.
Yes.
Why would you do that?
Why? Yes. You name your child Remus.
Yeah. And then he turned into a werewolf. Like, what are the odds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Pretty good.
I bet we could ask Ludo Bagman just to be sure, though.
Yeah. What are the odds you think he's taking bets? Or yeah, right. Yeah. Otherwise, though, Alastor can also, it has a bunch of other weird meanings, too, including, like, one who instills revenge specifically against family members. And I was like, wow, that is right on the nose right there. To which I feel like this is one where it feels like maybe his actual name was not introduced until well past you were in Moody's camp, because it might have been like a giveaway if you were too like versed in the etymology of Alastor or something.
That's very true.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
But now you're like, oh, okay, well, whatever. We got it. Alastor,
Sure.
What a cool name.
Sure, whatever.
I don't suspect you at all.
Right.
Now it's all those other people in the room.
Then Dumbledore chimes in. He says, how the situation arose, we do not know. And then I'm just sort of like, take a guess.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe we can guess.
Take a stab at it, man.
Yeah.
Because that's what you normally do, and it's usually right.
Yes, it usually is. It says, it seems to me, however, that we have no choice but to accept it. Which, again, pretty rare that Dumbledore just doesn't have, like, a solution.
Right.
You know? Like, what would happen if they did just, like, pick another Beauxbaton student and Durmstrang student, you know? Like, would they get attacked by the goblet? Like, whoa, are you giving scores to the wrong people?
No.
I didn't pick them. Yeah.
Maybe
It would have. I don't know. I came into Dumbledore's like, maybe I'll try and confund it for us, you know? What if we think that? I can probably figure it out.
Yeah, how hard could it be? Mm-hmm. If that guy did it.
Yeah.
My dear Madame Maxine is what Dumbledore is saying, because Madame Maxine is chiming in here, and he's basically just like, if you have an alternative, I would be delighted to hear it. And then Dumbledore waited, but Madame Maxine did not speak. And I'm like, really? Like, nothing.
Nothing.
No counter. Everybody has had something to say until now.
I know, yeah, they got nothing. I feel like when he asks her to, I feel like he is genuinely begging because he can't think of something. He's just like, seriously, please someone get Harry out of this.
Yes.
Like, you guys don't know this yet, but he's kind of important.
Right.
Yeah. I have my whole own plan here, and someone is really messing with it.
Yes. Here's another scene I would love to see in the HBO series, because it says, Snape looked furious, Karkaroff livid. Bagman, however, looked rather excited.
This is great.
See the camera panning down, and you've got like Snape just looking absolutely, like just so angry, and Karkaroff is like gritting his teeth, and it cuts to Bagman who's just like boyishly bouncing back and forth, like woohoo!
This is fun. Can't remember when I've had too much fun. Right? And then he says, well, shall we crack on then? Because he's just determined. He's like, nothing's even wrong. What are you guys complaining about? Got to give our champions their instructions, haven't we? Barty, won't you do the honors? And then this is another clue that he's under the Imperius. It says, Mr. Crouch seemed to come out of a deep reverie.
Non-NPC again.
Yeah, non-NPC. You just sort of stared and they're like, huh? What? Yeah, right.
I have words.
Yeah, I have words, yeah. Line!
Line.
Yeah. Move forward into the firelight, and this is even more hints as Harry thought he looked ill. There were dark shadows beneath his eyes and a thin, papery look about his wrinkled skin that had not been there at the Quidditch World Cup. So it's like, what has suddenly made him so stressed? The answer, of course, that he's already under the curse. And then he starts giving them sort of the rundown. It says, the first task is designed to test your daring. So we are not going to be telling you what it is. Courage in the face of the unknown is an important quality in a wizard. Very important, which I think is interesting because in Moody's first class, that's basically what he tells them.
That's
He's
true.
just that, like, which I think is funny because then it's like father and son sort of saying the same thing.
Oh, that's a good point.
Right?
Yes. Well, although I guess in this particular case, if he's under the Imperious curse, it's just like son and son saying the same
so it's
thing.
just Barty Crouch feeding him the same thing.
Yes.
Right,
yes.
yeah. Rewording it.
Then we get the information that first task will take place on November the 24th. Trivia. Although, don't ask us.
Don't ask us. We're going to
sure
forget.
We'll get it wrong.
Yeah.
Although we actually got asked this question on tour, and I missed it by 1 day.
1 day.
This could say 16 right now, you guys.
But it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Yep.
Anyway, the champions are not permitted to ask for or accept help of any kind from their teachers to complete the tasks in the tournament.
But they all will get it.
Yes, it is like this is the out of everything about this chapter. They're sort of like these rules are absolute and they are unflinching, except for this one, which is incredibly flimsy.
Yeah, right. They're like, we can't do it. The Goblet of Fire is not going to lay. There's no way to add anyone else. Harry 1,000,000% has to do it. Any other rules? Well, you can't cheat. No one can help. Like, oh, okay. But that one we see them break all the time and nobody dies.
Right.
Well, Cedric, but
Too soon?
Too soon?
Too soon.
Too soon. All right.
Yeah. Then we also learned that the champions are exempted from end of year tests, which is really smart because that is always when Voldemort seems to attack.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Dumbledore's like, you know what? Maybe it'll work out. No end of year exam, no Voldemort attack, right?
That's it.
We'll just do it. We'll
Right.
get it. But I was thinking about this from Cedric's point of view. Like, this is good. That means he's already taken his last final exam ever.
Yeah.
Right?
He's like, all right.
But then I'm also like, wait, but he still probably wants a job next year. These are like the NEWT level exams. So, like, he probably still needs to get some NEWTs. Or can he just put in his resume like, well, I was a Triwizard champion. Right? So.
He
really
doesn't need to worry
does
about
he?
it. Yeah.
But he doesn't know that.
Did someone say spoilers?
Spoiler. You might be at the
sorry.
wrong
Yeah,
show.
if you came here,
Yeah.
Snape does kill Dumbledore.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry. 2 books too early?
how dare you, Ben? Next you'll be telling them that Bellatrix kills Dobby.
That one's too soon. Hopefully nothing happens to Hedwig. Oh boy. Gumster Fire.
Gumster Fire.
And Gumpling.
And the Gumpling. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then this is funny. Mr. Crouch turns to look at Dumbledore. I think that's all. Is it Albus? And he's like, why are you checking with him? You planned this. At least check with Bagman.
Then Dumbledore says, I think so.
I guess. I don't know. But Dumbledore seems like he's starting to catch on that Mr. Crouch is, he's looking at him with mild concern. Offers says, are you sure you wouldn't like to stay here at Hogwarts? And then I can't believe that they let this fly. He says, no, Dumbledore, I must get back to the Ministry. And I'm like, back to the Ministry? It's like at least 10 at night or something, man.
Right.
You're going back to work? What?
He lives there now.
Yeah, I guess he does live there now. And he says, it's a very busy, very difficult time at the moment. And I'm like, dude, no, this event is your whole job right now. Like, what is extra difficult at the moment? Obviously, it's all just because he's under the Imperious curse and they don't want to give anyone extra time to figure out what's the up.
Yes. This is also kind of interesting, though. He says, I've left young Weatherby in charge. Very enthusiastic. A little over-enthusiastic, if truth be told.
Right.
And this is kind of interesting because if this is Barty Crouch Jr. imperiousing his father and speaking through him in this moment, then I feel like what that means is that Barty Crouch Jr. is like, this Weatherby kid is a liability.
He is annoying.
Like, he might figure it out.
He will not stop pestering me about the cauldron bottoms.
Yes.
Right.
And he's like, I am trying to navigate how to get this Potter kid all the way through a huge tournament. I have to do all these various things. I can't be thinking about cauldron bottoms right now.
Can't be thinking about it right now, man.
Which is why he also puts Percy under the Imperious Curse.
Oh, yeah. Right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
I've always thought he was under it, and I thought it was more like it's always like, why did they want Percy on their team?
Right.
And maybe this is the reason.
This is it.
It's like he was actually kind of a problem.
Yeah. It was like, yeah, this
Go
kid's
Weasleys.
Too smart for him. Yeah, too smart for this plan. So do you think Barty Crouch Jr. casts the curse on his father and then has his father cast the curse on Percy?
Something like that.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in. And then this is a kind of a funny line, and I've noticed sort of a bit of a trend here. Dumbledore is it like, well, okay, you're going back to work, that's fine, but you'll come have a drink before you go at least, said Dumbledore, right? And I don't know if you guys remember back in Prisoner of Azkaban, but after Buckbeak doesn't get executed
Witherwings.
Wow.
Woo.
My bad. I almost gave it away.
That was a close one.
After Witherwings doesn't get executed, Dumbledore's all like, well, that's too bad. Hagrid, I could do with a cup of tea or a large cup of brandy. And now here he is. He's like, oh, Barty, you're going to go? You want to have you sure you don't want to have a drink first? Anyway, he's like, oh, nope, you're going. And then he's going to be like, anyone else? Karkaroff, Maxime, drink, please? Please? You want a drink?
Someone have a drink
Someone
with me.
have a drink with me. He shows up to the Dursleys later on. He's like, you know what we should do? Yeah, I got everyone. Let's
Drinks.
have some drink.
Yes.
Let's have a drink. And then no one will drink with him. He Madame Rose Murder's like giving him all this then Slughorn even orders Dumbledore a fancy bottle of mead.
Yes.
Apparently plans to give it to him. Just doesn't. Dumbledore cannot get a drink with someone, man. Except Harry, I guess, eventually.
Yes. Dang, too soon?
You think he's just been thirsty the whole time?
He's like,
just like,
positively parched.
he's like, I can't be sitting here drinking alone. I'm not that guy.
Someone will drink with me.
I need.
He's not fed and watered.
He's not fed and watered. Exactly.
Man, yeah. I'm actually just laughing at my own line here, though. My own note. It just says, yeah, Professor Karkaroff, Madame Maxine, a nightcap. And I was like, that's a long shot.
Yeah, I know, right? They're like, oh, can you? I love Dumbledore's like gall here too. Like they haven't been accusing him of cheating for the past half an hour. Like, Dumbledore, how dare you do this? And he's like, what? What did I do? I didn't do anything. Come on.
Rum and Coke?
Yeah. You want a rum and Coke? Let's do it. Come on, guys. Nightcap?
Yeah.
Please. Madam Maxine, we can go to your place. I understand that your horses are already a couple drinks in. Those are some drunk horses, y'all.
Yes.
Barrels of malt whiskey. My goodness.
Yeah, that's probably where the rumor comes from for the Yule Ball.
Yeah.
Is that don't they say that like there's like a rumor that he got like 1,000 barrels?
Yeah. I like to think he probably did. He's just like, no one can afford me this time. I'm having a drink tonight. Doesn't work out.
It really is hilarious. Okay, anyway, we got to continue.
Start keeping track of every time Dumbledore doesn't get to drink.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, man, let's see.
Then he says, Harry, Cedric, I suggest you go up to bed. You're too young to have a drink with me.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Karkaroff beckons Crumb. They exit in silence. Maxime exits with Floor. They're speaking rapidly in French, to which I'm like immediately, Maxime is like, all right, Floor, come here. We got to start talking. Here's things I want you to do to prepare for the tournament. Here's things I think would be good ideas. Karkaroff is like, all right, Crumb, this is different. This changes the game. There's 4 of you now. We got to prepare differently. Dumbledore's like, all right, I guess go to bed. If no one's going to drink with me, I'm going to sleep. That's it.
Cedric and Harry are both looking at Dumbledore like
you want any suggestions? They're like, nah, go Hogwarts. See ya.
Hogwarts.
Like the other 2 are like so desperate to win. They're trying to help so much, and Dumbledore is just like, well, I hope Harry figures it out. It says in the rules they can't accept help, so
Yeah.
I gotta follow the rules.
He's like, I've already been accused of cheating enough, so.
Yeah.
I do love, though, he says, I'm sure Gryffindor and Hufflepuff are waiting to celebrate with you, and it would be a shame to deprive them of this excellent excuse to make a great deal of mess and noise. This, I feel like, is actually kind of sweet, because I feel like it's just very classic Dumbledore. Like, he appreciates such occasions so well.
Right.
You know, he's not like overly practical when it comes to things like this, which is nice.
No, he's not.
Yes.
And so Harry and Cedric leave. Cedric's talking to him and says, we're playing against each other again. To which I like that sentence. This is something like you only see if you're reading. It ends in an exclamation point, which might not seem like a big deal, but it definitely changes how that sentence reads to me, where he's like excited.
Yes.
You know, he's not like upset with Harry until like one more sentence.
Yeah. Right. Well, he will doubt him in just a moment. But like, I think that there is something kind of interesting about this as well with Cedric, because Cedric is unfailingly nice. And we've been talking a little bit about the Imperious Curse over the past several chapters. And one of the big things that Barty Crouch Jr. specifically says is necessary in order to throw off the Imperious Curse is a great strength of character. Specifically strength of character. It's not like willpower or something like that. This is like a generosity of spirit, if you will. And if you've noticed throughout this entire chapter, Dumbledore is unfailingly polite over and over and over again.
Right.
Harry is just an absolutely splendid human being, and he can throw off the Imperious Curse no problem whatsoever. And Cedric, I think, is also going to fall into this particular camp. Like, there's even like the thought that like, what if Cedric knew how to practice like legilimens here?
Right.
You know, like, because he wants to know how Harry did this. And he's a 7th year, highly trained wizard. Like, it's Draco learns occlumency in his 6th year. Like, it's not beyond the realm of possibility that he could have just learned this particular skill and implement on him. But it's not in Cedric's character, which I think is kind of important, because when you get to the maze, Moody is going to use the Imperious Curse on Crumb.
Right.
Cedric is the one who could then hold pace with Harry.
Right, yeah.
But
like, even though Cedric seems like he should be, like, Cedric's in the maze first.
Right.
Right.
Like, why not slow Cedric down?
Why not slow Cedric down? He's the biggest problem.
Because you can't.
Because he can't. Yeah, I like that idea.
He's got too much strength of character.
Too much strength of character, right. You got to get Crumb on it. Yeah, that makes sense to me. So Cedric tries to get Harry to tell him how he put his name is, and Harry's like, I didn't do it. I was telling the truth. Like, this is Harry's problem all the time. People just will not believe him. Next year, going to be a huge problem.
Yes.
For most of the year. But Cedric obviously doesn't. He's like, okay, well, all right. So Harry could tell Cedric didn't believe him, to which I'm like, how dare you, Cedric? How dare you? Yeah. But then, let's see, Harry starts to head back up to the Gryffindor common room. It says, was anyone except Ron and Hermione going to believe him? I just crossed out Ron.
I was like, I hate how much this is wishful thinking.
I know.
It's like, come on, you should be able to at least rely on them.
You should. And then he reflects on like how he'd fantasized about it, but it'd been a joke really, and I had a sort of dream. Like, I didn't really consider entering, did I? That's what makes me think he does. He does want to compete.
Yes.
At no point is he like, I don't even want to. You know, he's not like, please get me out of it. He's like, I guess I just have to. Oh, well.
Yeah. But then this I thought was kind of funny, because we get a multiple choice situation.
Yeah.
Someone else had considered it. Someone else had wanted him in the tournament and had made sure he was entered. That's the question. Why? Is it A, to give him a treat? B, to make a fool of himself? C, to get him killed?
Yes.
Or D, as a practical joke? What do we think, guys?
What do we think?
C. It's C.
It's C. Yeah, it's C. Yeah.
I wrote that too. This one. C.
Right.
Yeah.
When in doubt.
When in doubt, C.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Or is it? Yeah. Or the real answer though is secret option 4: bring back Voldemort.
Oh yes.
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 Who does come up?
Which he does get to rather quickly. Did anybody really want him dead? Yes. Somebody wanted him dead. Lord Voldemort. He had wanted him dead ever since he was just a year old.
Yeah. But how could Voldemort have ensured that Harry's name got into the Goblet of Fire? It's like, this is another great example of Harry's instincts. He's like, I wonder what could be happening. Do you think it's Voldemort? It's like, yeah, it's Voldemort.
Yeah.
It's pretty much always Voldemort. Yeah.
It says Voldemort was supposed to be far away in some distant country, in hiding, alone, feeble, and powerless. And to which I wrote, and yet, and then Harry picks up, yet, in the dream he had just had before he had woken with his scar hurting, Voldemort had not been alone. He had been talking to Wormtail, plotting Harry's murder.
Feels like you got there, Harry.
Dun, dun, dun!
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's like, are you still convinced it was just a dream, Harry? Like, yeah, it feels like this is the kind of thing I wish Dumbledore had been like, even if he'd just been like, all right, Cedric, if you want to head back down to the common room, Harry, could you hang back for a second? I have something I want to talk to you about. Not like, like kind of important things. This seems like it would have been a great time for Dumbledore to have a conversation with Harry.
It does feel that way.
Yeah. But no, he's like, but kids are going to be kids. I guess I got to let them play. Yeah. Nothing bad's going to happen here. And then I think this is kind of funny too. So Harry's making his way back to the common room. And when he gets there, one of the other paintings has run all the way from the room he was just in up to the fat lady to tell her the hot goss about the evening, to spill the tea. And the fat lady's asking him, said, who's just been chosen as school champion then? Harry says, Balderdash. And the other witch is like, it most certainly isn't. And she says, no, Vi, it's the password. And I'm like, that is really bad security.
Yeah.
Right there. Don't tell, come on. You were just attacked last year.
One job.
You're giving away the password to other paintings now? You were just attacked by Sirius Black. And Harry is under attack by Voldemort. What are you doing? This is ridiculous. They really need a new basement. They got to get someone new to guard this room.
Cadogan?
I don't think so. He was a bad one, too.
Yeah, he wasn't the best.
Put the Slughorn painting up there,
The Slughorn painting!
Yeah, right?
The former Slytherin headmaster.
No one's going to think that's where the Griffin... That'll be the joke.
That's the joke.
That's the joke.
That's the trick.
People are like, wow, I wonder where the Gryffindor common room is.
That's
Probably
why we call it
here.
puzzles.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So then he opens into the common room, and the blast of noise that met Harry's ears almost knocked him backward. That's loud.
That's loud.
That's loud.
Yeah.
That is some noise. Fred shouts, "You should have told us you entered." He looked half annoyed, half deeply impressed. To which I was like, that is a ridiculous combo.
That is, yeah.
I was like, I am kind of annoyed, but also, wow.
Wow, you did it. Good job. So it's kind of funny. It feels like no one cheered when it happened. Like they all got up to the room and were like, we agree that was actually kind of cool.
Yeah. Right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Remember, it was crickets before.
Right.
And then they got up there and they must have been like, we should have a party. We should have a party.
Does anyone have any peanuts? That'll come up in a second.
Oh, okay. I was like,
don't worry.
peanuts.
Yeah, exactly.
What an unusual party snack
Well,
for wizards.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Okay.
So he gets in there. Angelina jumps and she's congratulating Fred and George. Katie Bell. Basically, all of his Quidditch team is just like, heck yeah, well done. Because I think this is a great example of there just not being that many other named Gryffindor characters that could have spoken up here.
Which is surprising since it's like the main character house.
The main character house, yeah. Harry's trying to get out of there, but no one wanted to hear that he wasn't hungry. No one wanted to hear he hadn't put his name in the goblet. Not one single person seemed to have noticed he wasn't in the mood to celebrate. I know. Super sad. And then it says... here we go. This is the part. It says, Harry couldn't get away. Whenever he tried to sidle over to the staircase up to the dormitories, the crowd around him kept closing ranks, forcing another butterbeer on him, stuffing crisps and peanuts into his hand. I'm trying to imagine this scene. They're just like, Harry, don't go. Have more. Have another loose handful of peanuts, Harry.
Loose food.
Come on. And I'm like, also, if you remember later on, I think in their OWO year, Seamus is trying to figure out how many black market butterbeers they're going to have for the party they're going to throw.
Yes.
Which means they went to all the trouble to get black market butterbeer up here, but the best food they could get was chips and nuts.
Yes.
Come on, guys. Can't Fred and George go down to the kitchen still? I don't know. I feel like they could have gotten better food.
Yes, they even lead with that. They're like, we've got food, Harry. Come and have some.
Come on. He's
it's crisps and peanuts.
Crisps and peanuts. Yeah.
Also, I love the fact that it says forcing another butterbeer on him, and then it will say after one near half hour, which means how many butterbeers did he have and how quickly?
Oh, yeah. Might be able to admit Dumbledore should have come up here.
Yeah, right.
You guys drinking? Oh, man. I just went to bed.
If
If only. Poor Dumbledore. But yeah, he continues to deny it. I didn't enter. And then like no one finds it mysterious at all that he won't just admit to it, even though that he's in. It's like, guys, like someone's got to believe him. But then he's looking around for Ron and Hermione. Neither of them seem to be in the common room. So like I'm kind of wondering like where's Hermione in all this?
That's true.
Yeah. Seems like she should be down there.
It does.
Yeah, because she's gonna like show up the next morning and be like, here's some toast, Harry. But like she doesn't explain why she wasn't down there right now.
Because she's not with Ron either.
Not with Ron either. Yeah,
Where is Hermione?
She's just upstairs, man. Library.
Maybe she went to the bathroom.
She's just like, I'm doing some SPEW stuff, Harry.
I was busy.
I was busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say again? Researching for the first task. That
Exactly.
seems like a possibility.
Maybe.
Yeah.
They don't know what it is yet.
But Harry...
Figure it out.
Say again?
Yeah, avoiding the party.
Avoiding the party, yeah.
Yeah, she was like, I've had enough peanuts, guys. I couldn't.
Positively stuffed.
Positively stuffed,
yes.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Then Harry finally gets up there, and this is such a tragic sentence. It says, to his great relief, he found Ron was lying in the bed. I'm like, he's so happy to see Ron, and it's going to go so poorly.
Oh, hello, said Ron. He was grinning, but it was in a very odd, strange sort of grin.
Yeah. And then I like the order of this because it's like that. He was grinning, but very odd. And then it says, Harry suddenly became aware that he was still wearing the Scarlet Gryffindor banner that Lee had tied around him. Like, he quickly realizes, like, crap. Oh, wait. This looks bad. This looks bad. Like, he doesn't know what's wrong yet, but, like, he knows enough to be like, this isn't a good thing to be wearing right now.
Yes, yeah. Harry's reading the room rather quickly.
Yeah, yeah. As he does.
Yeah, so then Ron's like, so, congratulations.
Yeah. What do you mean, congratulations? Yeah, now it's starting to really catch on. There was definitely something wrong with the way Ron was smiling. He says, what did you use? The invisibility cloak? And he's like, no, that wouldn't have worked. What are you talking about? And he's like, oh, right, you would have told me. And then, like, Harry tries to explain, I didn't put my name in there. Someone else must have done it. And then Ron says, what would they do that for? I can't even remember his name. Like... So it's very much like Floor. Like Ron can't imagine like, or he can only imagine the upside of being entered in the tournament.
Right.
Like he can't imagine anyone would get in and would not want to be in.
Right.
But then, yeah, Harry, again, reading the room is like, I don't know. But then he can't say, it says, he found it would sound pretty melodramatic to say, to kill me. But I'm like, I don't know, dude. I feel like you could tell Ron, like, yeah. What'd you say?
I just wrote, and yet.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
And yet. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know if it is that melodramatic, Harry, since you've almost died every year at this world's safest place.
Right.
Yeah. It's like.
He follows it up with like, you can tell me the truth. I don't know why you're bothering to lie.
Right.
And then he's like, the friend of the fat ladies, that Violet, she's already told us all that Dumbledore's letting you enter. 1,000 galleons prize money, eh? And you don't have to do end of year tests either.
Yeah.
The way he phrases the 1,000 galleons prize money makes it sound like he learned this from Violet. And it's like, Ron, you have also already brought this up.
Right? Yeah.
This is not new information.
I don't like how he phrases like Dumbledore is letting you enter. And it's like, this feels like a great spot for Harry to be like, he's not letting me, I have to.
Right.
Like, yeah, he's like, I can't get out of it. I didn't try to be clear.
Yes.
But I do have to do it. I'm magically obligated. It's like a whole magically binding contract.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know how this works.
You know how
and
it
Ron's
works.
like, yeah, okay. I'm not stupid, you know. And then Harry comes back with a real good zinger.
Yeah.
You're doing a really good impression of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, got him.
Stuck the landing.
Yeah. Oh, man. And then it says, well, you want to go to bed, Harry? Expect you'll need to be up early for a photo call in the morning, which, yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to happen in the next chapter.
Yep. Oh, man. And he wrenched the hanging shut around his four-poster, leaving Harry standing there by the door, staring at the dark velvet curtains, now hiding one of the few people that he had been sure would believe him.
Oh, I know. It hurts so much. It's like, it's the utter loneliness of the situation. But it's like, what I do like at the end of the or maybe I can't remember if it's the beginning of the next book, the end of this book, but Dumbledore eventually said like Voldemort is like very skilled at spreading discord and enmity, and we're only as strong as we are united. And it's like Voldemort has entered the chat for about like 3 seconds now, and like Harry's best friend is already against him.
Yeah,
and it's like there it is, it's right there.
Right. Yes, we can never underestimate just how dangerous this person is.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. So very quickly. But with that, it does bring us to the end of the 4 champions. Woo! And now is when we would typically, ask Jay, hey, do you have a review?
Yeah, but I don't have a review. But so
we do. We have a live audience.
We do have a live audience.
So maybe you guys could let us know, how do we do?
I think that was 4 stars.
Yeah.
5 even. 9 3/4.
Hey!
Yeah! 9 3/4.
I love it. Thank you guys so very much. And now we'll let Jay.
Oh yeah, for the sake of the recording.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. The next chapter here. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Yeah. All right, thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure you join us next week for Chapter 18, The Weighing of the Wands, here on Through the Griffin Door. Boom. Get it!
Today's episode was edited by Ethan Edghill. Vaishon Brandon does our art. Catherine Stein is our production manager, and the show is hosted by me and Jonathan Carlin.